right, we're here for the next Learning Bitcoin and Design session. Today's a little bit different than what we ordinarily do. Instead of like focusing on a specific topic that everyone wants to learn and discussing that, we're gonna take a look at a Penpot, which is this kind of cool little design tool. It's an open source design tool. It's kind of similar to Figma, but it's open source, and you can, use it on their server. You can download it and run it on your own server if you want to. But kind of two reasons for looking at this. One, just thought it would be a good idea to, people have expressed interest in this tool. It's come up in conversation many times over the past year or so. So I want to give an opportunity to actually try and learn it and see if it might be usable for some of our projects. But also just kind of saw this as an opportunity to look at the topic of open design again, which Christoph led us through last week. This is another open design community. They're kind of designing their product in public to some degree. So wanted to give a chance to see how another open design community functions and all of that. And maybe we could try and build something together and then collect some feedback and send it their way and kind of see how their community, deals with handling feedback and design decisions and all of that. So I've kind of invited everybody to my Penpot team here, and I made a playground project before the call. And I thought what could be a cool exercise is if we tried to recreate this Bitcoin UI kit thing, or whatever else we want to build, but just using that as like a goal and see what we can build today. And then, toward, maybe later in the call, we could kind of look at how we would go about actually submitting feedback to their project. So that's all I got. What does everybody else think?
Yeah,
Sounds amazing.
That's cool.
Sounds good.
That's cool.
So I'm personally, it's a very familiar feeling interface to me in many ways. Feels like Figma, feels like a Adobe Illustrator, that kind of thing. I'm able to move just by moving the trackpad on my laptop here and navigate around. I'm having a little difficult. Oh, I finally figured out how to zoom. Nagashi and I were just talking about this before the call. I'm used to in Figma, I use Command plus and Command minus because I'm some kind of, Adobe dinosaur, and that's just the way I'm used to zooming in and zooming out. And every time I do that, it like messes with my browser. But apparently I can do the whole pinch zoom with your fingers on the trackpad. So that's kind of cool. Seems to be holding up well.
Holding down Command. Sorry, is that what you just said?
Yeah, I hold Command and then I use the plus or the minus. Or I also hold down Z and then I use the scroll wheel on my mouse. That's another way that I zoom.
Oh.
In like Figma and Adobe, not in Penpot, but got some Galaxy stuff going on here.
Stupid question. How I move the whole board,
I think spacebar.
Space.
That was exactly my question,
okay.
Josie. Did you figure that out? How do you do that?
Space bar. You have to do a space bar, and then you move the mouse. That actually is pretty good.
Space bar and then mouse?
Yeah, space mouse and with your mouse.
Ooh, there we go. Oh, that's easy. Okay.
Exactly.
And cool life hack, not that this is relevant in the year 2022, but that same spacebar and click thing works in pretty much every Adobe application too.
Oh, thank you. I never used Adobe in my life. I still tried avoiding, but eventually.
Nice background sound.
Oh my goodness. Sorry.
Who is next to a chicken or like a?
Bringing flashbacks to dealing with roosters.
Roosters, yeah.
Are we recreating, or you just kind of making the house tidy first?
Little of both.
Okay.
I mean, I was just kind of chatting, really. I think Christoph is playing with a galaxy or something.
I'm trying to
Let's
figure
not
out
start
math.
starting in Figma, then we might as well. It's just gonna go really. Not in Figma, it's gonna go really fast.
Hey,
Click.
is that your rooster, Precious?
Yes. Yeah, and
Okay.
about 3.
Okay.
Now, how do I
You guys
add more
can-
assets? Text, image. Oh, okay.
One thing I'm not sure about is like how we make a like a
Ah.
frame. Like Figma has the ability to like I could put this text, but I could put it in a frame so that like I don't have to like line up a I don't have to like line up the text with the rectangle. It just like kind of centers it within the frame. I'm not entirely sure how to do that.
Oh, okay. So I want these here.
So if I go here, I can actually make this thing rounded. So maybe a little too much rounding on that.
What did you did? Just click right
Yeah,
click.
I clicked on the rectangle, and then I went over here to the right to the design tab, and then I went to this little thing here and I typed it 8. Then I could group these by right-clicking and saying group. My concern is that I don't think Penpot has like a concept of a frame though, which is a little.
Yeah, I think so.
I can create a component here, and then if I go to my assets, I have a component library. It looks like somebody else made the library of Satoshi. Okay.
Oh yeah, that's a logo that I just. I'm trying to make a frame, like a circle frame, like a round frame, but I can't.
UI. So if you put slashes in your component names, it will put them into like folders apparently. So I made mine Bitcoin UI /button/primary, and then I created that.
Oh, really?
Then let's see, I could probably center this and turn this into the component for like I could probably turn this into like the component for a secondary button. Ooh, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to duplicate this. I'm going to detach the instance. Then I'm going to. That's cool. I hit the I and it went to the eyedropper, just like most other design software. And then I'm going to make this one like 0%, just so it has some like kind of padding around it. And I'll group that. And then I'll create a component for that. And then I'm going to rename this as Bitcoin UI /button/secondary. Okay.
Well,
I'll get my nice.
Over here, I think the fonts are labeled in numbers: 100, 200, 300.
Yep.
You said the fonts are in numbers?
Yeah.
Yeah, instead of showing normal
the
light,
the font
regular.
Oh, that's cool. I actually like that. But not everybody will like that. But I like it because it makes me think of CSS. Oh, man. One feature request I'm going to submit to Penpot is that they make zoom work with Command plus and Command minus. I know I can zoom with the pinch, but like I reflexively want to hit the plus and minus keys, and I'm just it's muscle memory at this point in my life.
You're never too old to change.
I was about to say I'll try my hardest, and as I was beginning to utter that sentence, I hit Command minus. I can't stop. Ooh, I should go get the Bitcoin logo from the Bitcoin Design Guide. Thanks to our sponsor, the Bitcoin Design Guide. Oh, wait a minute. I wonder if I can. Cool. I want to see how based Penpot really is.
Does anyone know how to make a layout grid? So, oh, here it is. Okay, that's very easy. Layout and grid at the bottom. So you can add a square grid. You can add columns. You can go for 12 columns. You can go for 10.
Hey, that might be what I was looking for.
Okay. Go for 8. What else is here? Oh, you can change that even more. So
Goofing around here. Did how are components working out?
I'm a little confused with components, honestly. It's like, I feel like I don't know quite how to change a component. Like I've created this button here and like, I don't know how to actually change the text on it.
Which one? Okay. You can just double click the...
It never seems to work for me. Like if I double click through it, it will let me select it, but it won't let me like edit the actual text. Wait, how'd you do that?
I guess I can do all kinds of stuff here. Surprisingly, lets you change a lot of things, even the position, which I don't think that was possible. Seems like there's a lot of overriding you can do.
Oh, this is interesting. I'm not sure if everybody's seeing this on my screen.
Sorry?
Like everything is like really fuzzy looking for me. It's like I'm looking at like a video. I feel like I'm like looking at a YouTube video. Oh, it went back to normal.
oh, I see that. It's almost like deep. It's like it's pixelated.
That's just old age.
Not just pixelated, it's like compressed. It's like compressed video. I was reading something in their technical documentation about how they said they don't use a lot of JavaScript at the moment. They used a programming language I don't know how to pronounce. Does it Clojure, CLOJURE or something? And they were saying that it was to make it like a really super fast, highly performant web app and all this kind of stuff. So I don't know, maybe maybe that has something to do with it. Maybe the way in which Penpot renders graphics to the screen is fundamentally different than the way that an app like Figma does it. So like if I create a new wallet, if I drag a new instance of this component onto the screen and I double click it, I can't like change. Oh, there we go. Okay, I was trying this earlier today and like I could not get it to work. And then we'll see if I just drag it. I do feel like you can change a little bit more. Like I don't feel like you can in Figma actually like move the text around within the component.
Yeah, I think it's not very limited. I just even duplicated things in a file inside of a component.
How do you
So this,
add an asset? So you click on the Assets tab, and then is it just like a plus? Okay, yeah, let's try that. Okay.
update main component.
Is that in here now?
Oh, here's something interesting that just happened. I went to this thing here and I changed the color on this rectangle and I said update main component. And then when I went down here, it added a new rectangle of the new color in the background of this component. That was really weird. That might be a bug.
Stephen, how did you add in, like, how did you add in the image from the UI kit?
I really just right clicked and copied it from the website, and then I just pasted with Command V.
Okay, I'll try that.
And I also saw that you can copy paste SVG directly from the code of other websites. I was really happy to see that.
It's not working.
Oh, hey, David.
Hey,
If you want to join in with what you're doing, just send me your email and I'll get you invited.
Cool. No, I'm half enjoying just watch you play about, but I might send you my email now. Send you on Slack, sure.
Let's see.
How did you copy the Bitcoin logo? From where did you get?
So I went to the visual language page right here.
Okay.
And on the Bitcoin design guide, and I right clicked and opened SVG in a new tab. And then I went and I inspected the element, and then I hit copy element and then I paste it. That's just because but you can also, like, if you just saved it to your desktop, you might be able to just drag and drop. Like, I think if you just click this button and save it, it might work too.
Can't figure out how to change the position and angle of a linear gradient on a layer.
I think I saw something with regards to gradients.
I added a gradient. I just usually, I'd like to change the angle and some other details. But
It doesn't have that as an option?
I have these little toggles here, or these squares, and I would assume that I can pick them to move the gradient around, but I don't think I can. Okay. Sure, it's possible somehow. I'm putting a link in the chat with for the user guide.
Ooh, code mode.
I bet if the Penpot team watch this, it's one of those horrible moments when you see somebody use your product No, what are you doing? It's so obvious.
Let's see. I just added you, David. I think you have to check your email to go find it. Let's see.
Cool. Yep, I got that.
A cool feature that would be nice to have is kind of what you have in Miro sometimes. Like you have in Miro, you have like a map of the Canva, like a mini map. I really like that. Because if I move around the Canva and I'm totally lost, it will be just nice sometimes.
It's easy to just zoom out super fast. That's what I usually do.
The moving around on the artboard, I find it very, I find it a bit more natural almost when you just have to hold on the space bar.
Yeah,
I think you can do that in Figma. You can do that in Figma too, Makashi.
Sorry?
You can do that in Figma too.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yep.
Yeah, I was in one corner and I got lost, and then I was trying to find where's the main playground for say it, and I miss Miro when you can see the map, just that.
There's some kind of like, I feel like I'm looking at their help documentation, and I feel like there's like things that I'm not seeing. Like they have in their documentation here this there's like code mode, I guess like commenting mode, and then I guess something else, and then there's like a share link button and an edit page, and I'm not seeing any of that. So I wonder if that's from like another version of the software. I think.
Yeah, you're right.
That's because it's interesting because Christoph, you said that you thought that there was a share link button, and now it's like it's in the help docs but not here. So I'm wondering if like this software has changed since the last time you played with it.
There are some designs I can't see. I can't see on my end, but I can see in the meeting via your screen.
I'm finding that to resize, so to get this, it goes really big, really fast. If you want to move the box, so you can all go like that if you're using your mouse, or like that. And to get it somewhere in between, you'd have to type it in here. Okay.
Is anybody noticing that there are some designs that can't be found on while you're designing, but you can see it via the video call on GT? I don't know that is only my own end.
Sorry, I didn't understand. What was that?
So like on my end now, I could see your cursor. Yes, yours and more designs, but I can't see I can't see what you're designing until I come to GT.
Oh, I see.
I don't know that is only from my own end this is happening.
It's also when you double click, so you can access an element within an element. I'm not really able to do that as well. I want to access the words inside these boxes. So
Yeah.
the actual text element.
Yeah, you're right, Precious. And Andy? Yeah, now I see what you see.
You're saying you can't see my cursor in Jitsi, but you can see it in.
No, I can't see what you're designing on my end until I come to Jitsi via the share your screen.
And also,
Mhm.
I think there is a delay because
Yeah.
I
I see
don't
it.
see. I don't see how you move the. Let's say I want to move it. I don't see the update. Oh, I know what is happening. Yeah. Okay. You know, like in Google Docs, for example, you see instant changes. I think here it's until like kind of you stop moving your mouse, you
Okay.
see the changes. It's not instant like
Oh.
real time in Google Docs.
Okay.
See,
I,
let me see.
for some reason, I'm seeing Stephen at least in real time. I'm just seeing him moving around on the same artboard that I'm on.
Interesting. If
Well, hold
we,
on. So like,
Stephen, if we
Magashi, I
both,
clicked the. Yeah,
if we
see, like
both
somebody
are
just
the,
moved.
yeah. If you are working, if we are working in the same element, we
Mhm.
don't see. I don't see what you are doing. You don't see what you don't like. We don't see each other what we see, but suddenly, who stopped working first is the person who update, kind of.
So like, for example, I have right now this square under share selected. Does anybody
I can't
see
see
on
it.
their screen?
I can't see it.
Yeah, so nobody can see that
I
it's
can see
selected
it.
by
No.
me.
I can see that absolutely.
I see
Okay,
your screen, but in my, if I'm seeing in Jitsi what you see,
yeah, I
but
understand, but I'm talking about on your
yeah,
Penpot
but
screen.
in
Check out the
Penpot,
background
I
of my
don't see.
screen.
Yeah, I don't see that. I don't see what you do. It's
I don't see
Yeah,
it.
and so like on my screen, I'm taking the rectangle and I'm moving it around in like a circular motion, and nobody can see that, right?
I can see that.
Yeah, I can
yeah,
see that.
I have a
But
different view.
I'm saying not on Jitsi. I'm saying in Penpot.
Yeah, you're moving around like.
I can't see it.
I actually don't see.
No, I see that.
Yeah.
I don't
Okay.
see.
So it depends on some people see it and some people don't.
Why is that?
Exactly.
That's strange.
I think my Penpot's kind of frozen because everything's super pixelated, like what you had earlier, and it doesn't resolve itself.
Stephen, it's
Probably
also
it's the
interesting to know
hardware.
that you and I were the first to jump into the shared Penpot file. And yeah, that's also interesting.
Right now, I don't see nobody. Oh, yeah, I see David now. Okay, now I see. Oh, I have to refresh my app.
I did the same.
I did F5.
So far, my
Okay.
biggest complaint.
Okay. I see it now. I see it now.
Oh, by the way, not related, but only works from Windows and Mac, and I have Linux.
Oh,
Man,
oh.
you're a badass.
A person who suffered a lot. I'm just gonna say that.
That's a huge flex. That's a huge flex to be able to say, I'm sorry, I can't use that software. It doesn't work on Linux.
Yeah, I have to. I know you can do it with OBS, but you have to spend at least 2 hours to learning how to do it, and I didn't do it, but I'm gonna do it.
Is that the one that you use to get these backgrounds that they have?
Yeah.
Oh, I downloaded it, but I didn't do anything with it yet. It's downloaded and installed.
How do you actually do your green screens? Is that automatically done? Either Stephen or Christoph?
Mm-hmm.
Is it machine? What is it? Is there a third party?
It's an application called Mmhmm. There's already a link in the chat.
Oh.
The desktop app, it just does that for you.
But
Yeah, it's not like
I mean,
I'm
like-
saying It's a product. Name it
But like Zoom and I think doesn't Jitsi do the automatic green screen too, or am I imagining that?
Yeah, I don't know. Hopefully.
I remember like way back at the like at the start of the pandemic, I was looking into it, and like Snapchat were like the only ones I saw that were doing one on Mac, but I've never seen this before. Very cool.
You have to create an account, which I'm doing now, so I'm very curious.
You're just
Okay.
stealing all of your facial data. It's telling
Oh,
you
I'm sure it is.
valuable eyebrows, Stephen.
Yep. I'm sure they've already like reconstructed my consciousness inside of a machine somewhere or something like that. And I'm sure they've already reconstructed all of our consciousnesses inside of machines. Okay.
How do you know
let's
you're
do
the
this.
original?
X-Files.
Yeah.
So you somehow get this to work with Jitsi?
It just shows up as a camera. So like once you like set it up,
Oh,
like you do all your like once you set up your like all your graphics and stuff, it just shows up as a camera with any video call app you use.
oh, so I would have to restart then to be able to see it, probably.
Probably.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, my biggest complaint so far, or like my biggest like must-have feature that I just can't live without now, is like the auto frame from Figma. Just the ability to drop in like, you know, 5 things and just like to be able to click and drag 5 things, like select them, say I want to auto frame this, and have it snap them and conform them to a grid, and then being able to change the direction of the grid and all that. That's just, it's such a time-saving feature.
Yeah.
And like another feature I'd love to see is just the ability to like take one of these buttons and like one of these components and be able to select the frame and say, I want it to conform to the width of its parent container. That's another real handy thing in Figma with components, is to just be able to say that I want the component to be draw its width and height from, I think they call it hug contents or fill parent or something like that. But those save so much time as well. But I'm having an overall decent experience with this. I mean, I mean, aside from the occasional video becoming compressed, it seems to work fairly smooth, and there's a lot of things in here that really work exactly the way I would expect them to.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it. It's fun.
Yeah.
I would say that what do you feel about the interface? What are your impressions about the actual interface itself? Like, the placement of certain things, and
I mean, like if you compare it to if you ever used a software called GIMP, which is open source,
yeah.
it is much better than that. Like,
and not only is this better, like not only is it easier to use than GIMP, I'd actually say this is easier to use than Inkscape, which is kind of the more comparable one in my opinion, because Inkscape was always kind of like the open source alternative to Adobe Illustrator, or some people thought of it that way, and that it was like a vector graphics program. And they've been around for a long time, but this feels even easier than Inkscape in some regards.
yeah.
Ooh, let's try out the pen tool.
Just for me, I would
Really
like a bit of a higher level of sensitivity with regards to resizing elements and that kind of thing. I'm finding the sensitivity with regards to resizing elements is a bit, I don't know if that could be my feedback.
Pen tool feels nice.
The grid layout seems not to be working well on my end. I don't know. Is anyone having the same problem, or anybody encounter the same problem? The layout grid. More
Sorry, which problem are you having?
layout grid.
Okay.
So I noticed I couldn't fit 4 frames, 4 columns on my own end without it appearing.
This is kind of annoying right here. I wish it wasn't constantly trying to straighten out my thing. See, I can't get that angle because it wants to straighten it like that.
Maybe holding down Shift, Option, one of those other ones.
Yeah, I've been trying. So let's see if I hold down Command. Same. If I hold down Option, same behavior. Control, same behavior. Shift, same behavior. Tab. No, it worked.
But it works well for me here.
Wait a minute. Hold on.
Do you guys find the interface quite intuitive? Like, as in everything is kind of where it should be in terms of when you need to find something?
No. But
No?
But first of all, I'm not a designer like you guys. Like, I'm a product manager. Like, I normally use Figma to collaborate with the designers. And my first impression is like it's not as easy in the beginning. I like the feeling of moving around, but it's not as easy as other products. Like,
Okay.
I'm thinking onboarding and the path that you have to have as a user is not as clear if you are not an experienced designer.
Okay.
I mean,
But
to me,
it's not the same for me that for senior designers like you guys.
To me, it's very similar to Figma.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
Same. It feels like some kind of, it feels to me like if Illustrator and Figma had a baby.
Give it Penpot.
Yeah, my thing right now is like I'm documenting like these weird little UI hiccups I see right now where it kind of wants to overcorrect my lines too much, and then just like the kind of features, like I'd say everything is where I would expect it to be, except for the things that aren't here at all. Like auto framing and being able to define component widths relative to their parent containers.
That's the one I was just about to say. That yeah.
Is there anything in here that you're positively surprised by?
That's a good question.
Just at how smoothly it runs. I mean, there doesn't seem to be a whole lot of lag. I mean,
yeah,
aside, yeah.
No, sorry, you carry on yet.
I was just saying, aside from the occasional fuzzy compression thing, it responds every time I click and press a button, and we have like 6 people in here now, it looks like. So I mean, it seems to be pretty performant and holding up well.
Yeah.
Something that I miss from Figma is the community around Figma, like the fact that you have templates. I think it's more powerful to have an open source platform that can have more. Like, let me say it better. Like, if Penpot is open source, what I would love to see in the future is to have more templates that Figma has today. And there is less templates here right now, but it's It's obviously because it's new, right?
That makes sense.
The interface is almost, what I'm a bit surprised by is the interface is almost it's a bit more simpler than I would have expected. But that's, coming from a different user perspective.
Oh.
I feel otherwise.
It is the first time that I'm using Penpot, so.
And for the first time using it, that's
It's the first
pretty
time,
good
absolute
experience.
first time. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. I think one thing I missed from Figma is the skill to. I tried enlarging my button here, and the text couldn't expand with the button.
Is someone creating a funny graphic there on the side? Who's that? Jeez. That's funny. Who's creating this little, is this a cow or is it a Dracula and a cow that had a
This one, I have no idea what it is. I'm literally just walking about. But it could
Sorry,
be-
is that you?
Is it the yellow and black and green thing?
Yeah, absolutely, that one.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. It's just a monster.
Okay. Cool.
I'm just playing about with just playing about really. But yeah.
I only see cursors of 3 people now. I think everyone else has disappeared. It's weird. Okay, now I refresh and everyone's back.
Yeah, I was not
Yeah,
active.
Yeah, I think
You have to be
refresh seems
active.
to work.
Does anyone know if there's an icon plugin here or something for icons?
I'm not sure they have plugins.
I don't think I didn't see plugins, but maybe you can add components, like go to layer, then assets, add components. The other thing now I'm thinking, how I add comments.
Good question. Oh, here it is.
Because-
Here you comment.
Where do you find it?
It's
Click.
on the right-hand side of the screen, and it's the last one at the bottom. So no, third to last one at the bottom.
Mhm.
Third to last.
I don't see that.
Yeah, I don't see it yet, but I'm gonna find
So far right of the
yeah. I see it now. Wait a second. Comments.
Oh, mine's on the far left.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, far left.
Oh.
Yeah, my brain is
Yeah, left.
far left.
Yeah, but
Haha, someone's
Oh,
got a lot of
okay, I see. See the short.
okay. Hello, post.
Oh, I see. This is Snap Nodes thing.
This is collab to later on.
Ah, there we go. I think that's probably what it is. And if I turn Snap Nodes on, then I figured it out, Krista.
What was it?
So apparently, when you have the pen tool on, there's this little contextual menu appears that I didn't notice because I was so focused on my cursor. And this option here called Snap Nodes was on.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm wondering if it's because I tried holding Shift to make a straight line the first time I used it. So I wonder if that activated it, or maybe it's I accidentally pressed Command apostrophe or something. But that was on. But now it looks like I can move a little more freely when I have that off. In this case, I want it on.
Sorry. Are there any
I'm
aspects
done.
of Penpot that you really like compared to other design tools that you've used?
I really like the color selector. So see if you go to select like the fill color, and you choose there's like a small circle and a slightly bigger circle, and then whenever you click on the color, like it does it like takes the color from two elements, I'm guessing, or something.
Mm-hmm.
I just really like that UI.
So the color selector UI.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, we can give feedback directly to the app in the three dots. Okay, that's good.
I added under assets, I added a shared library with, you can put together your own character. And that one was found in Penpot's libraries templates page.
Ah, you put in avatars by Pablo Stanley. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, this dude's got a lightning earring.
I want to get a lightning earring.
Ooh, like Pablo Stanley. Yeah, let's go. So let's do this. Let's do this one.
Yeah, so you could have a shared library with icons, and then you could bring those in. Let me see.
Oh.
And those are component instances.
I see it now. This contextual menu doesn't appear all the time. See, look at it. I click on it. What? Okay, so if I start from a brand new shape, and then I okay, I want to start drawing. So I start drawing, and then it doesn't appear until I click out and leave the tool. Like I had to click the arrow tool to make the menu appear.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the problem. The first time the menu wasn't actually on the screen. Okay, perfect. Now I can give them much more detailed steps to replicate. Doesn't appear.
Yeah, it's a pretty impressive tool for what I think is a pretty small team.
Yeah, agreed.
We're about 5 minutes to the hour.
Yep.
Cool. Size components to there.
Thanks for adding those the library with the characters, Christoph. I'm having fun with them.
Fun.
So now might be
A good time.
a way to kind of start tying this back towards the feedback. I mean, this Penpot file will be here for people to play around with as much as they want. I think Dulce mentioned something about the feedback option. There was like a feedback option directly here.
Yeah, it's in the next to learning on the left. Learning Bitcoin and Design. There's three dots.
See that.
Three dots, and
Give feedback.
what I think about some features are good for the main users, like is the designer, right? Like for Figma, but sometimes you have people who also check Figma, that is marketers or product managers. Like one of the good things about products like Miro or Canva or Figma is like everyone kind of get it so easy. And then it became like a ripple effect to use because it's easy to use.
Gotcha.
Cool.
But-
Here
So I
are
clicked that.
templates. There are templates. Christoph just shared that.
What were the templates?
There are some templates.
I'm gonna check.
Okay. So we can leave feedback for this community by sending a little email form here on the website. And then they also have a link here to go to discussions, which this looks like this goes to their GitHub page. So the discussions thing here, for anyone who's not as familiar with GitHub, these are actually just kind of like, it's kind of like a message board, really. It's really just a place for you to post a topic. So if you're not comfortable getting into the whole leaving issues and just all that kind of stuff, this might be a way you could do it. You could just go here and start a discussion and maybe look through discussions first and see if anybody else has already started a discussion about what you're planning to do. But, you know, I could maybe start a discussion about, you know, best ways to auto layout content in Penpot or something like that, get a conversation started. Looks like they also have an issues tab here. I was poking around on here earlier, and you know, it looks like there's all kinds of stuff. Some people are like flagging bugs, but then also people are flagging enhancements. Like this person saying, are there plans for a desktop app? So they opened an issue, and looks like you know, several of these issues have comments on them. So it looks like they're trying to respond and keep up with all of that. There's also on this thing here a link to Getter. Feel like talking, chat with us at Getter. So I'm guessing this is some kind of chat platform. Yeah. This looks a little bit similar to a Slack-like kind of thing. I don't really know exactly what Getter is, but oh, it looks like it's a Matrix thing.
It's like a Matrix thing, like a flavor.
Yeah,
like a lot of the Ethereum community is on that.
Cool.
Well, I see it's Matrix too, and so like Matrix is like an open source protocol, so you can use it with like Element client, and I guess Getter must be like a Matrix client or something.
Mm-hmm.
I like the little guy with sorry.
Good.
I like the little guy with flowers on his head. Whoever created that. Who created that? That's really, really funny.
I did. That was my experiment.
Your creation.
What I look like on the inside.
Cool.
All right. Well, it's about 1 o'clock here, so I think I'm probably gonna go ahead and kill the recording. But we'll figure out what we want to do for the next Learning Bitcoin and Design session. And like I said, I've got a document here that I shared in the chat where I've been kind of like logging stuff that I found. If anybody wants to add anything to it that you noticed, feel free to do that. And I will, you know, I'd like to start kind of opening some issues or starting some discussions in that community. Because I think it would be a good idea to, if this is something, you know, if we'd like to see the product improved, then we should talk to them about it and get involved. So I'm gonna go ahead.
I think it'd also be cool if we can think of some project that we do on Penpot. Maybe the icon set can also be republished on Penpot with every release, or maybe the sticker set, or I don't know, could be anything. If we feel like there are some features that are missing for, you know, huge, massive UX work, maybe it's something else that we can do. That's just something to think about.
Yeah. Find another test project that's bigger than this jam session. All right, awesome. Well, I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording now, and that will be it.